Hey, what's up, everybody? For your fix of fitness, health, life, and laughs, you know where it's at. That's right, it's at the Poecast with your host, yours truly, Adam Pullman.
What up, party people? Welcome to this episode of the Poecast. This is the show where all of your health, fitness, and nutrition questions are answered by me, your host and coach, Adam Pullman. In today's episode, we're answering a couple of questions from Instagram. One on improving pull-ups, another one on improving push-ups. So if you're in one of those camps where you're like, man, my pull-ups suck and or my push-ups suck, this is the episode for you, all right? Now, if you're wondering, hey, where are these questions coming from? How are these people getting their questions answered? It's on Instagram, and the questions go up, or the opportunity to ask questions goes up every single week. So if you go to my Instagram handle, it's Adam_Pullman, you can find me there. Every single Thursday, I do a little Q&A on there. So it says, ask me anything. Go ahead and put any question you want in the box. More than one question is totally fine. Ask as many questions as you would like on health, fitness, nutrition, whatever you'd like in that realm, and I'll answer it for you there on Instagram as well as here on the show. So that's how you go ahead and get that done. Now, if you have listened to the show before and you're a big fan of athleisure wear, specifically Vuori, if you haven't checked out Vuori, you should check them out. I am offering a $50 gift card to the winner for this month's giveaway. So what we're doing, here's how it works, pretty straightforward. Whatever platform you find the podcast on, usually I think it's actually just Apple Podcasts that does reviews. So we're just going to do that. If you haven't left a review yet, go to Apple Podcasts, leave a review for the podcast, and you'll be entered to win a Vuori gift card. Okay? Pretty freaking awesome gift. I can't get myself enough Vuori clothes. I'll be honest, it's a little bit of a problem. Okay? So that's how you go ahead and do that there. Now, if you want more valuable free resources to help you out with your health, fitness, nutrition, whatever it might be in that realm, you can get tons and tons of free guides that I have created for you, okay? So that is pullmanfitness.com/free. The spelling for that is POEHLMANN fitness.com/free. So that's where you can go ahead and get those free guides and resources. And that's all I've got for you. So let's talk about push-ups and pull-ups today. First question today, I need to bring this closer to my face. Man, I'm getting old apparently, is from Densley, 2011. Question is, I'd love to be able to do pull-ups. Can't do one now, don't have any injuries. What is your advice? The good old pull-ups, exercise that a lot of women struggle with, especially getting a few consistently in a row. So what do we do to improve that even when you can't do one? So there are a couple of different avenues that you can take when it comes to improving your pull-up strength. So first and foremost, we have to consider what we're trying to improve. And like we said in the question, that is strength. One of the things that helps the most with strength is frequency. So one of the mistakes that people make when they're trying to get stronger is they think that more work in the same workout is the answer. But with strength, pure raw strength, that's not really the case. Frequency is far greater than lots of volume in one workout. So what I mean by that is doing it multiple times per week for the same amount that you would in that one workout instead of slamming it all in that one workout. So for example, let's say you were going to do, I don't know, 6 sets for pull-ups over the course of one workout or 2 workouts. Instead, you're going to do, 3 for 2 workouts or 2 for 3 workouts. Spreading it out like that can help create a lot better strength gains rather than just slamming your body and slamming that back with a ton of pull-ups in one workout. So having some frequency is going to be key. Now, the higher the frequency is, the more times that you're doing it per week, the lower the intensity has to be. That way you can recover, which is okay. Again, when it comes to strength, it doesn't need to be super, super, super crazy intense. Now, the load needs to be heavy, no doubt, but as far as the intensity with the volume, how hard you're really cranking them all out, that needs to go down the higher the frequency is. So one of the best things that you can do is practice pull-ups. Like, notice that I said practice, not even throw them in your workout, but practice pull-ups not only throughout the week, but throughout the day. So let's say that you have the luxury of being able to practice these at home because you have an at-home pull-up bar that you kind of just wedge in the door. You can, every time you walk by it, let's say that's 2 or 3 times in the day, do one pull-up. If you can only do one. If you can't do one, we'll talk about what you can do. Do a pull-up. If you can do 3, do 3 pull-ups. And again, don't just do as many pull-ups as you can to failure. Just do a few pull-ups and stop, go about your day. Next time you walk by it, do a few pull-ups, stop, go about your day. The increased frequency there can help a lot with that strength signal. Now, the question is, what if you can't do one? What do you do to improve the strength there? So again, like I said, there are a couple of different avenues. One of those being working from a more vertical position and doing more of a row fashion to a more horizontal position and then taking that back into a vertical pull-up position. So you'll see what I mean here. One of the things you can do using a suspension trainer, Olympic rings, something like that, usually a TRX band is totally fine. Or you can also do this with a Smith machine. It's called an inverted row, but you're just going to do a row. Okay, so you're going to lean back, holding on to either the Smith machine bar or holding on to the TRX strap handles, right? So you're leaning back and you're just going to row your body weight in. Yes, this isn't the same motion as a pull-up, but we're still incorporating that back, which is largely involved in the pull-up that we want to be super strong there. Okay, so right now we're just taking a lot of the body weight off of it and just strengthening that back. So we're taking a lot of the load away. So obviously, when you're doing a row like that, the more your feet are underneath your shoulders, the easier it's going to be, right? The further your feet are out in front of you, the harder it's going to be. So start with what you can do, slowly work with your feet out more and more and more and more and more and more, and then get to a point where you can put your feet on an elevated surface and then do your inverted rows like that. So your body's basically horizontal with the ground, okay? And then you're doing that sort of kind of pull-up. It's really more of a row. But from there, what you can do is begin to do assisted pull-ups, okay? Now, this is usually I skip the rowing and just go straight to this. I feel it's just a little bit more of a shortcut, and it's what I prefer, and it works well with my clients. So you just start with an assisted pull-up, so that's one option. So if you have a machine-assisted pull-up or a dip machine at your gym, you can use that. So how that works is you have a pad or a little stand that your feet or knees are on, and the more weight that you have on that stack, the more assistance it's going to give you, making the pull-up easier, right? The less weight you have, the closer you are to just your body weight, the less assistance it is. Another option is using a looped band. So not a band that's like a tube and has attached handles, but a flat looped band that's long, not like the ones you put around your thighs. A long, flat looped band, and you would attach it to the pull-up bar, okay, over the top, thread it within itself, and so that way, it's fully supported on that pull-up bar. And then you're going to pull the loop down, the longer end of that loop, you're going to pull the loop down towards your knee, and then you're going to have that band nice and tight when you're hanging down from the pull-up bar, and it's going to give you some assistance as you do a pull-up, right? So that can be another way to practice more pull-ups than you can do on your own. But one of my favorite ways to improve pull-up strength is by doing negatives. This one helps people so much. So especially weighted negatives. So what are negatives in the first place? Really all it is, it's an exercise or a form of a movement where you are emphasizing the eccentric portion of the movement, the muscle lengthening portion. Okay, so for the pull-up, that's going to be on the way down. So what you're going to do is don't give any effort at all, especially if you can't do one. Don't give any effort at all coming up. Just jump up. Jump up to the pull-up bar, like jump to get your chin up to the bar, and then you're going to fight gravity on the way down. You're going to go down as slow as you possibly can. You're going to fight and fight and fight and fight and fight until your arms are all the way locked out and you're at the bottom again. Okay? Then you're going to rest a little bit, and then you're going to do that again. That's one way that you can practice really introducing your body to that strength. So jump up with your lower half if you can't do one pull-up as it is, and then fight the resistance or the gravity on the way down. One thing that you can do that I think is even better if you can do the negative and go slow on the way down for more than like 2 to 3 Mississippi is add weight to your body with a weighted vest, or you can use a weight belt. So it has a chain, you attach the weight to it, and do the same thing there. So you would kind of jump up, all right? So you're going to jump up to the pull-up bar, make that portion of the movement super easy, and then fight the weight of your body and the extra weight on the way down as long as you possibly can. So your body's going to be trying to come down with that added weight especially, and you're just fighting it. Your body's going to start to come down naturally, but you're fighting it, trying to make that eccentric portion, you coming down, be as slow and as long as possible. If you implement something like that on a consistent basis and do it frequently without gassing yourself, that way you can recover, you are going to gain strength in those pull-ups, okay? But it's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take time, so make sure you are patient. Now, the next question is about push-ups, so let's go ahead and talk about those. So this one is from zdang __, 2 underscores. I need to be able to do 10 push-ups in 6 weeks. I can only do 1 right now. Tips. So here's the thing. When it comes to push-ups, the first thing that I want to say is make sure your form is right. Because just fixing your form and technique can make a massive difference in your ability to do more push-ups. And so many people think that they know how to do push-ups. They have no idea. It's not right. So this is going to be hard to describe with just words because this is a visual thing, but I'll do my best. So one of the things that people do a lot when it comes to push-ups is wing their elbows out. They go really, really wide with the positioning of their hands, and they wing their elbows out. You are not going to be strongest from that position, okay? You're not going to be strongest from that position. Think about shoving somebody, right? If you were to come up to someone and give them a shove, you're not going to bring your hands wide and your elbows up above the height of your shoulders and push them that way. You'd be super weak, right? You're not going to give them a good shove that way. What you would do if you were to shove somebody is your hands would be just outside your chest, your elbows would be at a 45-degree angle, and you'd be able to create a lot of force that way. Your push-ups need to be the same. So as you get to the ground to do your push-ups, your arms are straight, right? So you haven't gone down yet on those push-ups. Imagine that there is a line going between the middle of your hand, okay? It's going from left to right through the middle of your left hand. The line continues to go in between your hands and then through the middle of your right hand. What you need to imagine is bringing your bra or bro line, so the bottom of your chest, kind of where almost where the bottom of the sternum is, to that line when you do your push-ups. Another big mistake that people make is they bring their neck to their hands, or they bring their head in between their hands. You need to bring the bottom of your chest, that bra or bro line, in between your hands, okay? Usually when that happens, another good kind of thing you can use to see is just imagine when you put your hands out on the ground, right? You have an L shape with your left index finger and your left your left pointer finger and your left thumb, and then you have a J with your right pointer finger and your right thumb. Imagine that L and that J come right to where your armpits are, just right outside your chest. That should happen as you bring the bottom of your chest, that bra or bro line, to that imaginary line in the middle of your hands. That's where you're going to be the strongest. So that's one recommendation for fixing form there. Another thing, too, is at the very start of your push-up, make sure that your shoulders are stacked above your wrists. Your shoulders are not in front of your wrists. Your shoulders are not behind your wrists. One of the best things that you can do when it comes to exercise and figuring this stuff out is videotaping yourself. I can't tell you how many times people think they're doing it the right way. Then they record themselves, and they're like, oh my gosh, I wasn't even close. And so they're able to learn from that. So if you haven't done that, I highly recommend it. Now, as far as being able to do more when you can only do 1, it's kind of similar to the pull-up thing. The first thing that I would recommend doing is just practicing more push-ups on your knees. Well, even before that, actually, you said you can do 1 push-up. So what I would do throughout the course of the day, right? Maybe set a timer for every hour or something. Just do 1 push-up with great form, good technique. Is that super, super physically demanding? Can you consider it like a whole workout? No. But it's just enough to help you increase that strength if you do it frequently. So, a few times a day, do a push-up. That's one thing that you can do. The next thing that I would recommend as far as something that you can implement is just doing more push-ups from your knees. Okay, so you're just going to create, instead of creating that bridge or that plank position from your hands and your feet or your toes, you're going to do it from your hands and your knees. And being able to do more there will help you with your overall push-ups. It'll help you stimulate that chest, triceps, those shoulders a little bit more. The modification or the thing that you can do to make that a little bit more challenging and closer to full push-ups is by doing a kneeling, or not kneeling, but doing push-up on your knees on the way up. So you press yourself up from the ground, away from the ground, on your knees, and then you go to your toes at the top of the position, and then go down to finish the push-up from your toes. Then go back to your knees and push up, push your body away from the ground, back to your toes, and come back down. That can be a good way to add weight to that negative portion of the push-up and take a little bit of weight away during the concentric portion, muscles shortening, that portion of the push-up, especially when you can't do a lot from that position right away. So that is another thing that can help a ton. The last thing that I would say, which I don't even think you really need to do, but you could if you wanted to, is kind of just practicing those negatives, kind of like the pull-ups that I mentioned. So if you've got a partner, a buddy, or someone else around the house, roommate, sibling, whatever, you can just have them put a weight on your back. Have them put a weight on your back. Make sure it's safe. Make sure they're supervising, they're watching you, whatever. And then just go slow on the way down, okay? And then they can take the weight off, and you can do a push-up without the weight on the way up. They can put it back on your back, go slow on the way down, and then push up without that weight on your back. That's another great way to increase the push-up strength there. So I hope those tips help. They should, if you implement them on a consistent basis. Now, if you're listening and you want to have your questions answered just like the people that sent them in today, you can do that on Instagram. My handle is Adam_Pullman. You can go ahead and find me there on Insta. And then, wow, I just said Insta. Oh my gosh. And then go ahead and ask me a question in that story that says Ask Me Anything every single Thursday. I'll answer it for you there on the story and then here on the show. Don't forget to leave that review to enter to win that Viore gift card. And then make sure you check out PullmanFitness.com/free for more valuable free resources to help you out. And make sure you spread the love. Send this episode or share this show with your friends and family. Let them know that this is where they can go to get all of their health, fitness, and nutrition questions answered.
Oh my goodness, I cannot believe it is over already. Hey, thank you guys so much for listening to the Poecast. Hey, listen in. If you have a health and fitness goal that you are trying to reach, I don't know what else to say other than to say it must be a match made in heaven. If you didn't know already, Pullman Fitness exists to transform the body, mind, and spirit through personal coaching and sustainable fitness plans for any stage of life. So, if you want to reach your goals, build sustainability, and enjoy life all at the same time, you guys got to check out Premier Coaching at Pullman Fitness. From custom-tailored programming to 24/7 access to your personal coach, you'll have everything that you need to succeed. You guys can find out a lot more about Premier Coaching as well as our membership program at PullmanFitness.com. Hey, if you enjoyed the show, share the love by leaving a 5-star review and introducing the Poecast to your friends and family. As always, thank you so much for listening, and until next time, this is the Poecast.